Hey everybody, my name is Danny Dumas, and this is the Earn Your Title podcast. I have a great topic today that is right, I'm sure, on everybody's mind because we're right around the first of the year, and if you're like me and most people, you want to lose some weight. You know, we have access to a lot of excessive calories during Christmas holidays, New Year's, all that, Thanksgiving. It just kind of rolls in, and we're at that winter weight, and we're wanting to drop some pounds, and so I've got something that I think is cool. It is it's based on a study, and the study is they're looking at something called NEAT. It's non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is a big way of saying the calories or the energy you expend when you like fidget, when you just, move your feet around, twiddle your thumbs, pace, walk around, the non-exercise activity. And I'm really excited about the findings from the study because it gives people hope that don't love exercise. So the basics of losing weight, it is a very simple mathematical formula. Calories in, calories out. If you put out more calories, I mean you burn more calories than you bring in, you will lose weight. Now that is a very simplistic idea. It is accurate. The more calories you burn, if you burn more calories than you bring in, you will lose weight. They're super complex, and the reason why you can go to a bookstore and see 300 different books on weight loss is because everybody's different. Every single human being loses weight at a different rate, for different reasons. When you exercise, it does different things to different bodies. Some people have a much harder time losing calories. They have a hard time losing weight in certain areas. Like some people just carry their fat in their face or their butt in some place where it's very obvious. So that part is not simple. The how we lose weight is not. It's very complex. Several years ago when I was a personal trainer, there was a couple people that I helped lose, up to 100 pounds of weight. And it was very detailed. It took a while to get going. Now, initially they would lose a bunch of weight. And I've always, the formula I always had, say you want to lose 50 pounds, that first 25 comes off pretty quickly. Because if you're 50 pounds overweight, you're probably not currently doing anything active. So just by starting up and doing anything, you get results. You lose half. That second half is a much, much harder goal. It's much harder to get that second half. And this non-exercise activity thermogenesis is a really cool concept that will take away some of the pressure of I just got to get to the gym 7 days a week. And the reason it's cool is because the way our bodies work, we have a resting metabolic rate, which means the amount of energy that we burn. So we'll just say we burn 2,000 calories a day because the math will be easy. Of that 2,000 calories, 60% of those, so right around 1,200 calories a day, is just what we're always going to burn. If we sat on the couch and watched TV all day long, we're going to burn 1,200 calories. Just by our hearts beating, us producing hair. Obviously, I don't burn as many calories producing hair. These little things. There's another roughly 11% or so another 200, 300 calories that is us digesting the food we eat. So we eat the food, and that actually requires energy, requires calories to turn that food into more energy so that we can stay alive. Those things are kind of set in stone. We can increase our resting metabolic rate by gaining muscle and things like that. But so in general, we have 70% of our calories that we can't really control. It is what it is. So that leaves us with 30%. Now that 30% is going to be done through either exercise or NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Now, it's a highly confusing thing about exercising. Most people say, hey, I want to go lose weight. And if you've got no background in it, what do? You're like, I'm going to start running. So people will start running or doing cardio, just the straight cardio, no strength involved in it. And they will start going off and burning calories. They're going to go for a 30-minute run. And I'm not opposed to any of this. If you get out and start moving, that is so much more beneficial to being sedentary. So do whatever it is that makes you happy. Go play pickleball, all that stuff. And we're talking specifically for weight loss right now. And I do think there's a difference between being healthy and weight loss. And without being confusing, health is general overall. Like, you have the ability to move without pain, and you have full range of motion, and you have the ability to put out, your cardiac output is a lot. You can go run 6 miles, and you can lift heavy things. That to me is health or fitness in general. Weight loss is inside of that, but it's just one thing. So we're talking specifically about weight loss. So you go work out and you decide, hey, I'm going to go do cardio because that's what I know. I'm going to get on the treadmill, the elliptical at the gym. And if you've never noticed, anytime you get on one of these machines, they will ask you, how much do you weigh? Do you know why they're asking you that? The reason they're asking you that, because they're going to factor in your resting metabolic rate. So if in an hour you burned 300 calories by running on the treadmill, 150 of those, maybe 125 are your resting metabolic rate, meaning you would have burned those if you were sitting on the couch. So you go to the gym like, yeah, I burned 300 calories. Well, maybe you only actually burned an additional 150 calories, which is kind of crazy. It's really crazy to think that all that work and we only burned 150 calories because the other 150 or 125, whatever it is, that was what you were going to do anyways. Our body, and it's very good, right, that our bodies are very efficient at burning calories. And in fact, the more you do cardio, which is like if someone said, hey, I want to work out and I want to lose weight, I don't ever suggest cardio. I would say go lift weights, go get as strong as possible, because muscle requires more calories on a minute by minute basis. So the stronger you are, the higher your resting metabolic rate is. So that's my recommendations. If you want to lose weight, I think it's highly important that you get really strong, and then every day, all day, you're burning calories. But so we're not talking about working out. We're talking about this neat stuff. So you've got 70% of your calories are going to come from resting metabolic rate or your food digestion. So on a 2,000 calorie need, if you will, that's going to be 1,200 plus another 300, so that's 500. So you only have 500 calories left. And let's say you were running on the treadmill and you burned 200 calories. Which really is only 100 calories because the other 100 is going to be in your resting metabolic rate. Or even, let's say it's 150, you burn 300, 150 isn't already accounted for. It's in your resting metabolic rate. So you only burned an additional 150 calories, which means for the rest of the day, that 350 calories is going to be from your NEAT, from the just moving around, fidgeting, stuff that you don't need to do. And that's the exciting part. So they did this study, and I'll link to it. There's an abstract on PubMed, and it's not a big sample size, but it was very controlled. So they took 16 non-obese people, so just your average person, and they put them in a very highly controlled clinic where they could control, like they measured everything. And when I mean everything, like all their food, all their poop, all their pee, how much it was, their blood sugar, they measured everything. And they overfed all of them by 1,000 calories. So they figured out what they needed to survive, and then they added 1,000 calories. And this was what was cool. Some of them were able to literally just ramp up their NEAT, ramp up the random things they did, and had almost no weight gain at all. Their body said, hey, I got an extra 1,000 calories. I'm going to fidget more. I'm going to bounce my knee more. I'm going to, walk around more. I'm going to pace more. And they just basically absorbed the calories and put them back out, burned them. That's amazing. Now, some people didn't. And that is the study, like what do we need to get, how are people different? And can we do anything about it? And, that's why some people are hard gainers and some people are hard losers, right? It's really hard for them to gain weight because they probably have their NEAT is a lot. Like their resting metabolic rate is always going. So when you're younger, especially young men, you're like, man, I just can't get big. Well, you're revved up. You're burning everything you bring in. So even though you're eating more, you're burning more. Or some people, man, they look at a cookie and they gain weight. So that it goes to explain a lot of it because everything else was consistent. They knew exactly how much they were eating, and and it was very controlled. So you might say, well, I gain too easy. I look at a piece of cake and I gain 3 pounds, and that sucks, right? It's genetics. But the cool thing is, because this non-exercise activity thermogenesis is not exercising. It's something you can do through habits. So if you are somebody who just, you've been overweight your whole life and maybe your genetics just aren't good for burning through that extra 1,000 calories by nature, body just ramps it up. What you can do is you can change the way you see the world and the way you interact with the world and just make a conscious effort to increase the neat stuff. What do I mean? When you go to the mall, park as far away as possible. Like literally on the other side of the mall and walk to the store. Don't buy things on Amazon. Go to the store, spend the afternoon and go to Target, go to the grocery store. Don't get your groceries delivered. So how do we change? I think we change the way we see the world, as far as the way we interact with it. We have never had a time in society where we can succeed and thrive as human beings with so little work. And in a way, it's great. It's amazing all the opportunities we have for leisure time to explore the internet, but it has really hurt us. One of the interesting things, they've done lots of studies, and while obesity is growing and growing and growing, our calorie intake really hasn't gone up that much more throughout the world. Australia being a difference, there was a study in Australia where, they have been consuming more calories, but in the United States, we've been pretty consistent with how many calories we burn. So why is obesity going up? Because we're moving less. So think about it. If you need to go buy something right now, you get online and you buy it, and it's delivered to your doorstep. How do we change? Stop shopping online. Go to the mall. Go to the grocery store. We can get our groceries delivered right to our house. Go to the grocery store. Walk around. Be active. There's so much you can do. Even the gym, you could work out at home or you could go to a gym. Well, if you go to the gym, then you got to get in your car, you got to drive there, you got to get out of your car, you got to walk in, you got to talk to the people, you got to walk to the machine. We can do so much more. The standing desk revolution is pretty cool, but standing itself is actually not what's good for you. The reason standing is good is that it allows you to move around. Like if you were to stand like a soldier on concrete, that's not really good for you, right? You'll pass out, your knees will hurt. Standing up gives you a chance to fidget, to move your weight left and right. It gives you a chance to, put one foot up, one foot down. When you're at work, if you are in the position where you can control the way meetings happen, don't meet in a conference room. Have a walk. If it's just one other person, hey, instead of let's having the meeting sit down for a coffee, let's go for a walk. There's things you can do that can increase your neat calorie expenditures. You can, there's so much. There's so many things, but it's a mind shift. It's not just, doing more work. You have to think, instead of how do I do things the most efficiently? Maybe you think, how can I be inefficient? Maybe instead of going to the grocery store and having the perfect route, maybe you just ran whatever pops in your head, go get it. If you're going to go get the milk, and then you're back to the fruit and then over to the grains. Be inefficient. I work with a guy. He is morbidly obese. He has some major medical problems. He's so efficient. He will ask where you parked when he's coming to relieve you of duty, so that he can park right where you're at, so he doesn't have to walk and carry his gear any further than he has to. He'll move a fire truck so that he doesn't have to walk around it. He can walk right in front of it, and you can see it. He's obese, and it's sad, but he's seen the world as trying to make it easier, and it has made it physically harder for him. And it's sad. And there's so many people that maybe it will never work out, but what the study is saying is it's okay. You can burn 300 or 400 extra calories a day, up to 1,000 calories a day, by just increasing your random movements, by just being inefficient, by figuring out, hey, can I do this standing up? Name the thing. Can you could fold clothes sitting down watching a movie, or you could stand up and do it, and you're probably going to move more. You can lose weight by just being inefficient, just moving around your house, just parking further away at the mall. Just name the thing. Getting a walking desk. All these things add up. It can make you a healthier, more productive person, which is just really exciting. I enjoy working out, and I think that part of physical fitness is important. And again, remember, I'm only talking about losing weight. If you're not working out, I don't think you're living a full life unless you have a job that, is already giving you all the physical exertion you need. But we should be exercising. We should be training. But for losing weight, man, just change your mindset. Try not to be so efficient. When you're going to make the bed, go over to this side and then run over to this side. Don't do everything on one side, everything on the other. Be random. Just move more. And that's exciting. So if you've liked this information, to put it into action. I ask that every single time. I want you to, do something. Try to just move a little bit more. This is the Earn Your Title podcast. And my name is Danny Dumas, and I will talk to you later. Bye.